Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now here I am wearing the Rogue Hoodie from Helikon Tex. This hoodie is part of their Urban Line and Urban series, which I have covered in a prior video. In that prior video, I looked at a whole bunch of gear from the Urban line and also the Range line. And at this point, I'm going through all of those products for a full featured review. And that's exactly what we have here today with the Rogue Hoodie. And so if you have not seen my prior reviews of Helikon Tex gear, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless YouTube channel, which is my primary channel. On that channel, I cover everything from outdoor gear, hiking, camping, and backpacking excursions, and all the gear that goes with it, including a whole bunch of excellent Helikon Tex gear. So in today's video, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through this in detail. I'm gonna show you all the features in this Rogue Hoodie and why for me, this has really become very quickly one of my favorite go-to pieces of outerwear. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Helikon Tex who did provide this for review. Now again here, the Rogue Hoodie, which you can see is pretty much black with black multicam. Now this does come in a couple of different colors. I also have this here in the tiger stripe, which is a very nice combination, and they recently just came out with a new, what they're calling Desert Night Camo, which is a fantastic combination. But this Rogue Hoodie, the first thing about it, the cut and the fit. Very, very well done. I really enjoy the way this fits. It's a perfect middle ground, sort of between a sweatshirt and a jacket. It has a little bit of weight to it, which is nice. It gives it a good, comfortable feel, yet at the same time, it has enough features in it that you can actually get away with wearing it indoors kind of all the time, which is fantastic. And so the first thing as we get into this is the size. You do need to be a little bit careful with Helikon Tex sizing because they report their sizing in both European sizing and US sizing. So the first thing is, for me, I typically wear a US men's large, which in reality is the European extra large. And so this one here in the multicam black, this is in the size European large, which is actually a US medium. And I don't usually fit in a medium, but this particular Rogue Hoodie does come close. The body size is just about right. At this current time, I'm about 6'1" and about 172 pounds roughly. So this does fit me in terms of the body, the length, but where it gets a little bit too small for me is the arm length. When I pull, you'll notice that these sleeves definitely start to pull up and they sort of, back off of my wrists, and that kind of bugs me a little bit. I don't like my wrists just kind of always hanging out. So it's not that the body's not the right size, but for me, it really does come down to the wrists and the sleeves, which is not a huge deal. If you're just kind of casually hanging out, it does work. But when you start doing things like reaching and, I've gone to the range and done some shooting in this, and at that point, it does start to pull back. So a lot of times you'll see me wearing this European large with the sleeves hiked up. Well, at that point, it kind of gets me out of it. The body fits well and it looks the part. So that's one thing to consider. But now with the US large, this one here in the tiger stripe is the US large, which is the European extra large. So you need to really figure out what's going to work for you. Now you can see here the body does fit a little bit, I'd say, bulkier. So if you're a slightly larger chested individual or you have a little bit more meat in your frame, well, this might work a little bit better. For me, where this is definitely better, the sleeves. The sleeves do not pull up. You'll notice they stay all the way down to the end of my wrists out by my hands. That's just more comfortable for me. It's more conducive with what I like. But I do have to say, on the multicam black, the body fit me a little bit better. But overall, it's just something to pay attention to. So if you don't have long arms and you have a reasonably lean frame, you may want to go with the European large, which again is a US medium. If you have a slightly larger frame or longer arms, you may want to go with the US large. So you just kind of need to pay attention to those details and don't get yourself tripped up. Now, the first thing as we get into the features, this is made of a mix of materials. Most notably, you'll notice this ripstop nylon. This is a very durable material. It is very abrasion resistant, and it adds just this sort of rugged panel on the outside of the hoodie, which is awesome. I really like that about this. You really do find that once you have this, you know, you're always kind of bumping into things and squeezing through areas, and having a little bit of durability on the outside is nice. Now, the one place I think it's a little funny that they did not include it is on the elbows, but at the same time, I'm glad they didn't. These panels can be a little bit stiff. They went with a pretty nice weight overall. It's not too heavy, but the panels can add a little bit of stiffness. And by not putting it in the elbows, well, it leaves this nice and flexible, and it feels good and it's comfortable, and you're not really sort of, you know, flexing your arm past that stiffer material, which is not a big deal. It's kind of nice to have reinforcement sometimes, but on this particular hoodie, I'm glad they didn't. Pulling up the hood here, well, this is really capable of being cinched down. I mean, it does enough to kind of, you know, block your head, get a little bit of warmth. I find the hood is actually the perfect size where I can still see out of my peripheral vision. They did a nice job with the cut. Just having that little bit of a cinch there, you don't really need to crank it down, but just pull it just a little bit and it's just about perfect. And the other thing is, well, you have that reinforced panel on the top, which is actually going to help to shed just a little bit of water if it's misting out or it's not raining too hard. Nice elasticized cuffs on both the wrists and also the bottom. Not too tight, but tight enough where it's a good fit. It's nice and comfortable. And I have to say, I am absolutely thrilled with how they constructed this. As we continue through the exterior features, first thing is they do a wonderful job with their zippers. So here, YKK zippers. You'll notice that they are inverted, which helps to protect the zipper track. So that is very nice. They did a great job. Matching pulls, which is really cool. And then you'll notice on top of the zipper a little bit of fabric where these tuck up and underneath, just keeps things tidy and actually helps shed water off without it saturating into the zippers. So very nicely done. Really nice cuts on all the panels. I like the shape of the cuts, and I feel like it strikes a balance between a little bit aggressive, a little bit athletic, just very nice. And again, the difference between sort of more of that polyester and cotton blend, and then your ripstop nylon material. So very, very nicely done. These nice zippered chest pockets, and that's the thing about the Rogue hoodie. There are 10 pockets in this altogether, and you'll notice as you open this up, nice and soft on the inside and fairly large. My entire hand fitting in here easily, and this goes all the way sort of to the side of the garment. Now, if you look in real quick, and when I did my initial impression and unboxing video, I did not think there was mesh inside, but if you look super close, this is actually perforated, which means you're getting the benefit of ventilation, and that's one of the things I've come to enjoy about this the most. This is fully vented right through the chest pockets, which is awesome. I greatly like that. It definitely helps to keep you, I would say, optimally comfortable, where you're warm, but at the same time, you're able to vent off some of your sort of trapped moisture, which is fantastic. Now, working further down, again, you'll see a nice cut in the panels. So doing a nice job here to kind of break things up. And then 2 more large pockets right on the front. Now again, where this is a full zip design, this is not like a kangaroo pocket, but it's the same sort of concept. Nice large pocket here, you'll see very large, ample space on each side. And then inside, which this will be a little bit hard to demonstrate, but you do end up with an additional zipped pocket, which this I love. So if you had something that you really wanted to keep safe, you could certainly put that in here. But for me, this is the pocket I typically slip my hands into for a couple of reasons. One being it's felt lined and it feels really nice. But the other is, well, that is also that perforated mesh, which helps this to breathe. So if you want to continue to vent out this Rogue hoodie even more, you unzip these pockets and you allow yourself some nice ventilation. And again, it is very effective. It works very well. Now, if I could make one suggestion, what I probably would do is take this same fleece and actually put it on the inside of this pocket. I don't know if there's like a constructability constraint that wouldn't really allow for it, but it just feels so nice on your hands. It would actually be kind of nice to have that fleece here too. And the reason why I say that is when your hands are cold and you want to slip them into these inner pockets for the benefit of the fleece, you kind of combat the warmth with the fact that this is vented. So you get that cold air pushing through and venting, but then again, you kind of want the warmth. So what I would like is to actually keep this pocket with the vent zipped up and then have the nice fleece pocket on the back side of this ripstop material. So just a little bit of a detail. It's to each their own. That's just my own personal preference. Now again, working my way down, you'll see here that Helikon Tex patch, nicely done. And that brings up the stitching. The stitching on these garments, always very nicely done. You can see here, just very nicely stitched. There's almost never any threads out of place. I mean, almost none. In fact, now that I think of it, I really never find any. So it's not like you need to go around this and, you know, like burnish it up and take care of loose threads or anything like that. So Helikon Tex manufacturing has been very well done, reinforcing where you need it. So some stitching that just reinforces everything, well thought through. But that does bring me to the shoulder panel, which here you can see this is on each side of the shoulders. So this nice reinforced panel. It is a little bit gusseted, so you'll see it does have this little bit of a gusset here to kind of push out if you put some materials in here, but then it sits perfectly flat when you don't. I love that construction detail. Here you can see a morale field on the side, which I do use sometimes. Sometimes I don't like this, but the more and more I get into this, the more and more I do like it. It's just part of the look, part of the feel. Gives it a little bit of that sort of tactical look, if you so like that. And then on this sleeve, you can see the Helikon Tex logo. So just a little bit of a different detail on each sleeve. But again, this one here having the logo. Again, YKK zippers, very well done. Same detail as the front of the hoodie. And opening this up, well, guess what? You have that mesh, which is awesome. I really love the fact that you can fully ventilate this. It really works well. Getting the air to dissipate from up on your shoulders does work extremely well to help keep you comfortable. I'm not going to say cold. I'm just going to say cool enough. And cool is not a bad thing. That's letting your body moisture evaporate out. That's keeping you actually dry. And staying dry helps you to ultimately stay warm. So very nicely done. Now before we leave the back of the Rogue hoodie, you'll see very plain, just straight black, not too much to it. But now getting into the inside, well, the first thing you'll notice, the inside of the hood, again, has some of that mesh. So just kind of helping it to sit off your head a little bit, breathe a little bit. You know, if it rains, at least you have, you know, that sort of more durable material, but then it'll kind of breathe and dry out. You end up with the ability to sort of hang this up, and then it transitions into the fleece. So on the inside here, a nice soft fleece interior. Feels very good against your skin. Nice and comfortable, not too pilly, which is nice. It's like the perfect weight fleece for this particular hoodie design. As we slide over to the upper chest area, you'll notice you do have a pocket, one on each side, so mesh pockets on each side. A little bit large, maybe a little bit open for my taste. I feel as though I would probably personally sort of avoid putting anything in here. Just, I don't know, maybe a pair of gloves or something like that, or a winter hat would be about right. But I wouldn't trust putting my wallet in here or anything really sensitive just because there's no enclosure. It would be maybe nice to have some little level of an enclosure there just for some security purposes. I don't think I'd want a zipper because that would make this stiff, and you already have zippers kind of working in the opposite directions here, but just having maybe a little Velcro enclosure there would be more than enough. And again, as we work down towards the bottom of the inner panel, you'll notice this is the mesh that helps to ventilate the inside of the front pocket. So that pretty much covers the features on the Rogue hoodie. As you can see, very well done, nicely constructed, comfortable, perfect fit, great materials, nice hardware. The design, just very well thought through, stylish, a little bit aggressive, cool camo choices. Well, at this point, you can see why the Rogue Hoodie for me has quickly become one of my favorite go-to pieces of outerwear. And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the Helikon Tex Rogue Hoodie. Again, part of the Urban lineup, which I have come to greatly enjoy. And I have to say, I honestly, truly, and deeply enjoy all of my Helikon Tex products. Main reason being the overall quality, the overall features, and on top of that, definitely great value. So if you're somebody that's looking for that sort of middle ground between everyday wear and then also sort of that tactical look and feel and features, Helikon Tex is a great way to go. So again, thank you very much to the people at Helikon Tex, and for the rest of you, please, if you enjoy this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless YouTube channel, which is my primary channel. Again, I cover all kinds of great things for outdoor activities, knives, axes, backpacks, flashlights, sleep systems, shelters, you name it. That's my Outer Limitless YouTube channel. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.